I will be.
Okay, I'm home looking like a hot mess, right? I know it. I feel like one too. But see all this? I told y'all I have gray hairs. Okay. These braids are coming out today. Okay. So as we do this live, it's going to be a little bit of chat in that. Okay. But anyhow, I'm taking my braids down, and what I typically use is a toothpick. Last night I was so lazy, but actually tired. Um, I started taking them down in my bed, and I had a knife, so it worked for me. Okay, I'm taking these braids down, and sometime this week, of course, I'm gonna wash my hair. I always do that. I'm gonna put a rinse in my hair. That's what I typically do. I have gray hair, hair full of gray. Okay, I've been having gray hairs. Oh goodness, ever since I was, did I break this? Oh, probably 28, 9-ish years old. And I didn't know it until I asked my dad. It's a hereditary trait. And so I really believe it is because my son is 37 and he has gray hairs as well. So that's okay. Um, Probably wisdom, okay? Get it together, son. Yeah, so I'm taking my hair down and I use a toothpick. A toothpick. I hope everyone is having a, you know what? Did I set the do not disturb? Oh, to MG. What the heck? Sorry. Back. I'll be back. And I see today I look like a hot mess, but that's okay. But today, my topic is just anything. Okay? Anything in particular. The kids are in school. Um, three of them, and two starts tomorrow. Okay? And honey, let me tell you, it's crazy because not that they're in school. I felt like I was doing it quicker with the knife. I might end up switching. I don't care. I'm not going to cut my hair because I have a lot of hair, but the shrinkage is real. Okay. I just love it that the kids are in school. It gives me time um, to do lives, of course, because when they're here, it can be kind of noisy. But you know what? When you have children, and this live is a grandmother of five, so you're gonna hear some talking. It's not like it's yelling and screaming and stuff like that. I just come on here. I'm gonna start doing some, you know, uh, grocery stores and little things like that. I do cooking. Activities, um, tell my story, my journey. And yesterday, for the first time, I was so proud of myself. I went live on TikTok. I'm trying to, keep my way of communicating and socializing open. And I am a content creator um, on, I guess you could say, this platform too, until I get monetized, but still I'm doing it, right? And I'm one on Facebook, but I haven't really been on there too much lately because they owe me money. They owe me money, okay? And I done did everything I was supposed to have done did. I have not broken any violations. I didn't break no violations when they said I did. So what I did, I took down all of my videos that I felt like wasn't mine, but they was, and I ain't stealing nobody's content. And so all the videos that I have been putting on there is me, my grandchildren, leave it to be, leave it to be. If it's cooking, them making stuff, uh, activities outside, just and you cannot pay me my money. I need my money. And I'm gonna stress that I do need it. I need my money, and I knew those birds was gonna do that. I should have closed the door, but that's okay. Cause right now I'm about to go and I got this table some kind of way. Sorry about that, y'all. And also I'm gonna have to get something so I can wipe my hands because I'm gonna eat an orange. I'm on. I'll tell you about that. I'm right with y'all. I have to do something. So sorry about that. Like I said, life be happening. Okay. I had to also um okay, here I am. So again, I have birds and they okay, I guess that's good enough. I also got a white because to keep my hands clean. I also have a wipe to keep my hands clean. And the reason being is for those of you that don't know, I'm on a weight loss journey. And also I started, I should say, a 30-day fruit and vegetable fast yesterday. So this morning, I can't give a talk. This morning I had a peach. Now I'm having an orange. I write down everything. So I'm not starving myself. So I have a wipe, washing my hand. I wipe my hand. I'm taking this hair on down. I like using this toothpick, but heck, last night seemed like I was doing faster, getting it taken out faster with the knife. I guess once you find the pattern of how you want to take it down and how fast it gets going. I'm gonna have this done. It will take no time. It really truly isn't. So, honey, let me close this door. Birds. Come on, birds. Okay. To have two parakeets and everything. And what I do is turn on YouTube other birds. They love it. And this one particular one that I put on, and they just, whew, they just act like they just really enjoying it. When I leave the house, I like to put on the chirping and stuff. So part of the family. Part of the family. Y'all just wish me luck on this journey, okay? I'm on this weight loss journey, y'all. I want to take off anywhere from 40 to 50 pounds. That's what I want to do. Now, what I have for breakfast or in between is fruits. Okay. Say for instance, if I get kind of hungry, want to snack on something, fruits. I have a lot of peaches. I have a watermelon. I have some apples. I have some oranges. I have some bananas. I need to get some grapes, but right now, and then I have some tomatoes. Um, because tomatoes is fruits. Okay, see that? The shrinkage is real. Okay, my hair is long. If my daughter come over here and do my hair, it come down to my shoulder. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. But she's working. I'm so proud of my daughter. She's a teacher's aide this year, first time, and I'm proud of her. My oldest daughter. Yes, I am. She gets her flowers. It's like I was talking to my son this morning. You got to wake up and want to do things, positive and be positive and keep your mind focused. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't wake up having a bad day. You might wake up feeling not good because, say, for instance, sick or whatever, but for the most part, you do not wake up having a bad day. Unless you maybe had a bad nightmare or something. But other than that, when you wake up in the morning, and I'm saying this for myself, wake up with a positive mind, positive thought. Wake up, and when I say wake up, me, I'm quiet in the morning. I'm quiet in the morning, and I say good morning before I'm talking. I like to have my coffee. I like to wash my face because I took a shower the night before or in the morning, and sometimes both. Okay, and get my coffee, give me a good maybe hour, so I can get my brain to going. Okay, ain't that I mean? I just don't have nothing really to say. But good morning, I speak. That's it. But for conversation, whew. But once I get started, this mouth keeps going. Okay, keep going. So far I have two down, and it's not gonna really take long either because um they're not really, really, really small braids, so that helps the process too. That helps the process. Super. If it's not tangled up or whatever, it goes smoothly. Actually, you could just take it down. I started this on my own. I'm pretty sure other people know how to do this with the toothpick, but I didn't never know it. I just said, "Girl, your nails," because sometimes when you have your nails done and you're not able to, you know, get to it like you want to. I said one day, I said, "There's got to be a better way. It definitely has to be a better way." And so I went in the kitchen. I have toothpicks, and I said, "Girl, you're gonna start doing this." And when I tell you, the process and the time was less. It was so less. I'm like, whoa, thank you for wood. Thank you for toothpicks. And they got other stuff out there, I'm pretty sure too, but I'm using toothpicks. Or you could probably take one of those combs. I'm keeping that for my granddaughter. She started school yesterday. The other ones started. Okay. I had a granddaughter start school last Tuesday. I had a daughter start Monday, and then two starts tomorrow. Hmm. and she catches the bus. She has a bus pass, school bus that is, and the school's not too far from where I live. And matter of fact, everything in the school's new. I like that because I said, having old schools germs, even though they try to keep them wiped down as much as possible, but having new things. What I'm doing is taking my hair down with a toothpick. You see all this? Snow White, right? I'm gonna put a black rinse in it. I only do that maybe twice a year, maybe pushing it. Anywhere from 2 times to 1 time a year, I put a rinse in my hair. I'm not hiding my color, which is the gray. I just like doing it. And what I'm doing here is I have a toothpick helping me to get these braids down. And honey, let me tell you something. I got a knife, right? This knife gonna do some things too. Here we go. I don't want to cut my hair, but the shrinkage is real. Okay, if I get all this washed and blow dry, believe me, it's gonna be down to my shoulders almost. And I might just do that if I have the patience to do that, or have I don't know. My daughters are busy, so that's one of the reasons why I start getting braids, because I call it beautify me. And when I say beautify me, you see how I look now? Mm-hmm. Somebody think it's a filter. No, she had me looking so beautiful. I look beautiful now, but I'm just saying different. Let's say it like that. And I mean, she does the eyebrows, the makeup, the hair, all of the above. And I mean, she could put the lashes and um, eyebrows and stuff like that, and blow dry. And she have all these different gadgets and stuff. She can clip hair and all that. This is my oldest daughter, that is. All my girls can do hair though, because I'm glad they can, because I don't know how to do hair for real, for real. I'm so serious. I said, thank you, Jesus, for giving me daughters that know how to do hair. And it ain't that I ain't tried, because when I had my girls, I had I used to take them to the hairdresser, or someone that I know, French braid their hair, keep it in beads, and I mean, I know how to make simple styles, plait. If you don't know what that is braids, okay? Plait, country girl, okay? Country girl, country bumpkin, country to the fullest. So I don't have to really cook that much. Like my granddaughter, she came home yesterday. She had spaghetti from uh, Sunday. No, what's the Sunday? Yeah, Sunday, because yesterday was Monday. And I'm gonna see if she wants some more. But if not, I'm fixing something else. I don't want to go to waste. And if she don't, I'll give it to my daughter. I want everyone to hit the notifications, subscribe to my channel, and share. Um, I'm trying to get monetized. Everybody know what modification is, or monetization. I want to, because I'm a content creator on Facebook. Okay, I stress that. I've been one since February of last year, if not January, and we know what that is. You got to get monetized, right? And the reason why I want to get monetized, and I'm saying it in the live, is because I need to get a vehicle, and I need money to live, and I want to put in the work to make money. I'm not going to just be doing like any boring lives or anything like that. I'm going to show different things. My content is going to be, yes, you will please. You will. I don't know what's wrong with my talking today. You will see motivational stuff. You will see inspirational stuff. And not only just that, it's that what I do with my grandchildren, shopping, those type of things. I get people that let folks know that because sometimes people are like, wonder what she's doing on her live, or in her content. And that's basically the three things. And talk about life. Mm-hmm. Talk about life. My life has changed tremendously. Okay? Tremendously. And life happens. As I address from time to time, don't we wish we had control over our life? Sometimes us as people, we don't. But me personally, nothing's wrong with me. Mm-mm. It really ain't. I work on myself because I done came from a dark space before, meaning um, depression and anxiety, emotional eating, weight gain. So on this channel, I throw that out there from time to time, but I do have another channel, which is Mona's Vegan Lifestyle. Mona with the S, Vegan Lifestyle. It used to be Mona Lisa Kelly, but it's Mona Vegan Lifestyle, and this one right here is Grandmother 5, honey, and and that's real. Okay, real. I have 9 children. People think it's a joke. Girl, you don't. Yes, I do too. You know why I say 9? Physically, 5 is my grandchildren. Okay, got children on there. I take care of them. I have 4 adult children, and I support and take care and help. One of them, why are you doing it? I don't have a choice. That's why I said life happens. It's not no pity buzz. It's not no excuse. It's not no lie. It's have to. And one of my daughters, I'm not putting her name out there. I'm over everything. Her decision making and everything. I don't talk about that much, but it's true. I'm not embarrassed. That ain't why I don't talk about it. It's facts. It's life. It's the truth. And I got proof. So, and she's a beautiful person. You know, things happen in life, right? We know this. Um, I've been through that sadness, depression, running away from problems in life. And, sometimes you can fall weak and short too, right? I always say this, you're always supposed to put God first, right? And He will answer your prayers too. Don't ask for nothing, talk to Him. There's a difference. That's my advice. Stop. Oh, Lord, I need this. Lord, I want this. No, He already know what you want. He already know everything that you're going through. This is how I said, I don't ask God for nothing. Nothing. I say this. Say for instance, when I lay down, I say the Our Father's prayer. And then after that, I say, um, please protect my children. I put their name in the atmosphere, the homeless, people that is going through any type of depression, um, things in that nature. That's what I do. I don't sit down and say, God, please. He already know I need a vehicle. I'm going to manifest it and I'm working towards it. You know what I'm saying? I need one bad. And the reason why I'm put that out there, it has been so freaking hot here, and I'm pretty sure everywhere else or something going on with the weather or the temperatures or whatever, hurricanes and floods and earthquakes and stuff like that. And I said yesterday, because my oldest daughter showed me, because we was talking about weather and different things. And I said, I look at the heat index yesterday here, might have been higher. 115, it said it felt like outside. And let me tell you, when I went to go outside to take my granddaughter to the bus stop, my daughter and her husband, thank you, Jesus, for them. I truly do mean this. Came and took the kids to school and didn't just drop them off, went into the class and everything. And I said, you know what? I am so grateful for her. I not truly mean that, because this is my thing. We got to work together as family. Everybody can be, at a space and the place in their life where they need help. I'm not justified for none of my children, but I say this: I would rather for me to take care of my grandchildren than for anything to happen to them. I'm tired. I really am. Mentally. But I got to keep on keeping on. And that's why I say I don't ask God for nothing. I don't. Sure don't. Anybody that knows me and can comment down below, when they get on here, they ain't gonna say listen to the whole video. Just down in the comments, tell me what they think of me. I'm talking about those that know me, without even just say, girl, hey, how you doing? You so, sweet and kind and think of others and not selfish. I am not selfish. I give my shirt off my back. And when I say that, I literally have. I didn't help people that was street people, meaning selling themselves, okay? Trying to keep it cute. And didn't know them. I'm so serious. When I was in Colorado Springs, that's just one time, but I have done it multiple times. And she was a little bitty old thing, short, and he was tall. I remember his name, but I don't remember hers. His name was Robert. He was diabetic. I introduced myself to her, me and my kid's father. And one incident happened. The lady's name was Kathy that I went to pick up because they didn't have a car and we was having a picnic in the park. And picnic in the park. And when I came back, my kid's father was barbecuing. There was people there, and then it was more people. I went to pick up some because they didn't have a car, like I said. And we ended up having to take her to the hospital. And my kid's father had to pull him off of her. He had to have been about 6'1", 6'2". She was probably, oh my goodness, 4 feet, 4 something. Okay, she wasn't no 5. She was either Puerto Rican or Mexican. We took her, man, the lady Kathy, took her to the emergency room because he had hit her in her eye and it was big, swollen, everything. Don't you know? I didn't know this woman. I met her through speaking, but far as knowing. When I took her to the hospital, me and the other lady took her to the hospital. It was 3 ladies. And you go up there to, to tell them why you're there, to give information or whatever, because she couldn't see. Okay, they took my word. They saw her right there, so it wasn't like I was going in there making up some lies. I don't know if they wanted me to, or the way the computer was facing. That woman had been up there hospital so many freaking times. So they went to that many times. I can't even tell you how many screens that pulled up. And it wasn't, I don't know if it all was beating. I don't know if it was because sicknesses. I don't know if it was because she really didn't have nowhere to stay, because she didn't, for real. They was like, she was doing what she was doing so they can, you know, uh, get hotel rooms and things like that. They didn't have no place. And he would carry around his uh, needles because he was diabetic. Okay. I'm really telling the truth. When she got put back there in the room for them to, check her out and evaluate her, for one of the things they're going to ask you, do you feel like you're safe? They're going to ask, do you need to speak to someone, social workers or whatever? Is there anything that we can help you with in that aspect, right? They came in there and to ask this woman a question, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I already was in the business because I took her there, right? And my kid's father was too. My children was around. It was at the park, okay? It was a park. I said, whoa, who does that? I'm so serious. Like, I'm just thinking back because I'm being dramatic, but this is true. And I make face expressions and everything, y'all. I don't care. I'm thinking, like, who really does that to someone? My kid's father wasn't the one. He said, get up off of her. He pulled that man up off of that woman. Because you got to think about, why would someone probably say, why he let that happen? Who knows what someone going to do? So really, you going to just react to something you don't see? Have some comeback. He was cooking. His back might have been turned. But anyhow, nevertheless, cooking, back turned or whatever, he didn't let it happen. So as she got back there, the people came in there, social workers, they have at the hospital came in there to ask her everything I already said. Don't you know she wasn't going to say nothing at all? Okay, I grant it, because she was afraid. Me and that girl, Kathy, was her name. We looked at her like, really? She could have lost her eye. And I'm serious. She could have lost her eye. So I don't know if it was the look we gave her or she just felt like she wanted to do it at this time. So she, filed a report and they found a place for her safe and stuff. And how I know I ended up taking her. And it was I want to say a battered women's shelter. If not, it was a shelter, I know for sure. I'm going to show you how involved I am with people. That's what I'm saying this because I'm not selfish. I done helped so many people in my life. You know, don't you? He knows. I ain't trying to get no clout, no pat on no back, no reward or certificate. I took her to this place. I even helped her with her disability. I don't know if it was SSI. I think it was SSI. And she needed to get, like, I think an attorney or someone, or probably just to finish the case. I know that. She was doing so she was doing so good. She was doing so good. I mean, she was not seeing him, and there's the truth because he couldn't even come on the premises. And if he did at that place, um, and she was too afraid to leave. And if she did, she left with me. I took her to health departments to get clothes at the pantries, go to the store, take her back there. The last time I saw her, me and my kid's father, because we was in Fort Carson, Colorado, for those of you Army, okay? Um, Fort Carson, Colorado is in Colorado Springs. And we was living at a hotel or efficiency, and it had two king beds, a refrigerator, not no small one, a full stove. That's just how big it was, like an apartment. One would probably say, "Why y'all living there?" Because my kid's father, when we first got there, we drove there. We were staying in temporary housing, and I think you can only stay there maybe 30 days, and after that, you can extend it. I want to say no more than 45. He was getting out, okay, but until he got out, we stayed there, and we was there for, I want to say, 5 months. We had even thought about moving and living there. You know, we was looking for places and stuff like that, and but we just thought about we want to move to Florida. That's where our goals was. Actually, we was gonna move to Missouri, but that didn't work out. We moved back to so we wanted to move to Florida, so we ended up moving to Florida, Daytona, and then we ended up not staying there. We moved to me and my kid's father moved to Brayton's in Florida, which is close by St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Palmetto, and Sarasota. Okay, and just so happened when he got home, he reunited with a guy that he raised up with. And when I say raised up with, you know how back in the days, uh, you can whoop the child, they go home and get whooped, the neighbor whoop them, the pastor and everybody else, right? That's too much whooping, but that's how they did it. That's what, I don't know. That's what I heard. Well, anyhow, because my kid's father was older than me, he was that 50 era. I'm the 60s, okay? So I'm backtracking on the woman. I was just saying why we was there. I helped her get her disability, and she had children, but they was living with her mom in Denver, Colorado. Colorado. I can't even talk today, but anyhow, y'all got the point. Denver, okay. And so this was in '92, okay, 1992, January, and we lived there and stayed there until June the 19th. I remember that day. My kid's father and I decided to take the money that they offered offered us, because he went to Desert Storm. He was in the army, and he went to war and all these things, and you know that takes money. So a lot of times when they come back, the budget, okay. So we had left Stuttgart, Germany. We was there for 4 years. Mm-mm-mm. That's where I left my happiness at, y'all. I'm so serious. That's the last place. When I say happiness, okay, I had all my children. That was happy times. Okay, happy place. That's what I'm talking about. Was there? I lived there for 4 years. I was young. I was. I'm gonna get it right now. I was about 22. A mother of two. Because okay, let me see here. 19, 20. So that's 86. About 22, 23. I had two kids. My son was he had just turned 3, and my baby at the time, she was not even a year old when I went to Germany by myself. By yourself? Yeah, my husband was already over there, and they had to, that's where he was supposed to go, and you got to get all the paperwork, finances, and stuff like that, and also we was on the list for housing. Well, we ended up getting to go over there sooner because the guy he was in the company with, um, he had a family. It was total 4 of them, and his wife ended up leaving for reasons I ain't gonna get into all that. So they went to the first sergeant and head people or whoever they supposed to, and let them know, or to see, I should say, if we can come. This wasn't our place. This was his. They did it the right way though, and they signed papers saying that we could come. And I remember going to. I'm from Topeka, I'm not there. For goodness, it's an Air Force, it's a um, military base in Topeka. I went there. I had to go there. As a matter of fact, I went to two. I went to a National Guard place to get all the paperwork together. Then I had to go. Oh, it was at the tip of my tongue. When I left, I flew out in a little bitty. It was a crop duster plane, okay, but it brought me to Kansas City, Missouri, and from Kansas City, Missouri, I don't know why I went through all these stops. So Topeka to Kansas City, Missouri to St. Louis, Missouri, and I flew out from St. Louis, Missouri, and I ended up going from St. Louis, Missouri, London. When I say, because it was a like a what you call a rest time, the board, the other plane. When I tell you, it was so beautiful. My son had to go to the bathroom, and I didn't know nothing about their language over there. So, me, the person that I am, you can only demonstrate. And then I don't know how I end up, but I guess I sensed that it was a bathroom or whatever, bathroom countryness in me, okay? And so my son went to the bathroom. I'm moving fast forward. My baby, I didn't have a bottle. I had juice bottles. Back then they used to have the juice in like a bottle, and you could put the nipple on it and with the ring. I had brand new nipples. I don't know what the hell happened to my baby's bottles. Luckily, there was someone on the plane. They had a baby. They gave me some. They gave me two brand new bottles. I think two, and that's how I was able. I said, "Lord, have mercy. My baby don't have no bottle," and I didn't breastfeed her, so that was truly what you call a blessing. So that was that, and so that's why I'm saying all this, because I was in Germany for 4 years. I loved it, and after Germany, um, we moved to Colorado, like I said. And when I met this lady, I'm getting all of it into play. So I don't want nobody saying, "What the hell did she go back like that for?" It's just kind of like giving you introduction of how I end up there, where we got out at. And so, like I said about the budget, they ask you, do you want to just get pretty much like put out when they decide to put you out, or do you want to take some money? I'm pretty sure you can figure that one out without me saying. So that's how I met the lady. I helped her. And the last time I saw her, and this was so sweet, she came walking up the stairs, because we stayed upstairs, and she was with him. Me and my kid's father, when she left, we didn't say nothing bad. Only thing we said, God be with her. We know for a fact that, okay, she was afraid of him. I get it. He didn't know where you was, okay? He didn't know where you was, okay? You have very well could have got your money and left without him knowing, right? She had all this money, because of the back pay. And she came to tell us goodbye. And I got in my inside of me, I don't want to sit up and lie and say that I cried, but I feel like I was crying in the inside for her, because I said to myself, it's sad. This is not making fun of no one. It's sad how you could be abused, mental, physical, emotional, sexual, bully. All of it is a form of abuse. And I so mean this year and years to come, I'm going to continue to talk about it. Okay, there's help out there. But when a person's been abused, I have, okay, but not physically. Well, I take that back. When I was young, but I'm talking about as an adult, no. But I was emotionally and mental abused. Just keeping it real. Oftentimes, a lot of people stay with that person that's causing them trauma or anything is because they seen it or saw it when they was coming up, or the honeymoon stage of it. I swear I won't hit you no more. I promise you I won't put my hands on you. I love you, baby. I love you. And they damn near cry and probably do cry. But when you feel like you don't have no one, leave it be. It's because of you running away. Because it don't always have to be your parents or your family don't love and care for you. You might have been that headstrong person. You done left the nest or left the home, ran away, and so your life you live was the way you wanted it to be, and that's basically in the situation. That's just like if you're a street woman and then you end up getting a pimp. Okay, so um, when I saw her with him, like I said, my heart cried because I can't recall if I had tears, but I know how my heart felt. And me and my kid's father both did. And I said, you know what? I gave her a hug. I don't even think I said anything to him. And if we did, we did, but I can't recall it. But I know I told her I wish her the best, and she said she was leaving to go be with her kids. I don't believe that was true. I don't. She got that money, and pretty much she probably did, but I don't believe it. Because I don't believe that. This is why I don't believe it. And even if she did, she probably didn't go like to live. She probably went to be closer. Okay, there's a difference. To be closer to her kids, not to live with them. Okay, because that's all she talked about. But what I'm getting at is if you have a grandmother, parent, guardian, whoever, it could be siblings, that's still a guardian, that's taking care of your kids to look out for the best interests of them because of the situation, I don't believe that no one will let you come around those kids like that. And then sometimes you depend on how serious it is. You might not be able to come on the premises. And then also, if you got your rights, and you do see your kids, it might be a supervised visits. And I ain't talking about with no grandmother or anybody. It could be the social workers. You call them. I know because I was a foster mom. Okay. Mm-hmm. I had a baby in my care. I got her when she was 17 days old, and something happened. I don't care to get into that right there. And it broke my heart what happened. But anyhow, she was almost 3. About 4 months for turning 3. The state put her in my care, but the state did not pay me for that child being in my care. They gave me one time due to a woman, her husband played professional football, a clothing voucher for $150. I took the clothing voucher to what's it, JC Penney's or Targets. I think it was JC Penney's. And the reason why I said that, they probably said, why you didn't go to Walmart? That's what they gave me either. That's why I said either one. They didn't give me the card to go to Walmart. They gave it to me to go somewhere else. And I gave the woman the receipt. And I spent down to the penny for that baby. Nothing on that receipt was anything of mine for my house or nothing. It was for the baby. When she came to me, she had 2 bags, almost kind of like carry-on suitcases. And the only thing that was in there was some formula, blankets. I still have one of her blankets. A couple bottles, maybe a few outfits. And I'm saying it likely, okay? How I end up getting stuff before I got that voucher. My niece was scared to have a baby, and it was a baby shower, and they had one for me. I didn't have her, but still, it was. They had brought some things, clothes, and people that came to it for her. And then as that went on, um, I had gotten her bed. One was given to me, but I got her one first. Everything that child had, I bought prior, past the baby shower. I bought. Didn't no state give me no money. I did it because my niece knew her mom, dad. Two of my sisters, my niece and my mom, knew both her parents. And the girl had a boyfriend, or her had reached out to her about them getting ready to take her baby because she had three other children that was already in the system. And the baby never went home. She got taken from the hospital to an orphanage until she was 17 days old. I had to have a background check, all the things. I already made it look good because I was registering the state I was in, but they still had to do that. That made it easy for me. They came and walked through my house. They seen how clean it was, and it wasn't just because for that day. I always kept my house that way, and I ain't trying to spit no bars. And they checked several references, and I'm talking about not just family members, people that we kind of knew as friends, but not long. And I gave them DFS for me. That was one of the references. And that made it look good for me. Why wouldn't I give that? Okay. And so my son graduated on a Sunday in 2005. I went to court the next day, which was on a Monday. When I went in there, and it was a judge and all the workers, social workers, parents. Her mom was there. Her dad wasn't able to be there because he was the main reason why the children got taken. Because honestly, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about this girl. One would probably say she's stupid over a man. No, what happened is she was real young. I think 14, maybe 16, but I'm gonna say 14, and he was older. That right there was sick. And he controlled her. I mean, literally controlled her. So she had the nerves to go to a woman's shelter to get help. She left him, okay? Tell me why she ended up going to meet up with him or to be with him, and she left her kids in the shelter for 3 days. So at that time, she had three. That's why the baby never went home. She had three boys and a daughter. The daughter was the baby. Okay, two of them was together in foster homes, and one of them was with a family that a husband and wife that never had children. They ended up adopting him, and when she found out that she can adopt him, she got an adopted lawyer, and she told me, "Girl, you can make payments." By this time, something else had happened. I don't want to get into that because it might make you cry. But anyhow, so I'm saying all that to say this is my heart. And when I saw that lady, I was talking about helping people out. Just a little recap. But why is it that you a giver, you have a heart of gold, you wear your heart on your sleeve? I don't care who know that, but I tell you one thing, I notice people now. Mhm. Because a lot of times, as I was saying about abuse, sometimes we be with people because we want to feel loved and accepted. That's not love. That's not love. You want to be with that person. The person don't really want to be with you, but at the same token, you looking for love and genuinely want love, and you staying with someone that don't care for you for real, for real. That's a problem. And I had that problem. That's why I had to work on my mental state. I was mentally disturbed, far as depressed. I was emotional abused, mental abused. I've been physical abused and other things. My kid's father saved me. He didn't make me. I say that because he was older. He didn't mold me. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. He was the best person I ever had in my life, other than my children and my mom, dad, and siblings. But I put that first because he was my companion. He was my husband. He loved me. He loved the children. And I'm talking past tense because he's no longer here. And I wish he was. Because everything I'm going through right now, and I'm telling you this, I wouldn't go through nothing. I wouldn't be sad. He would be my friend. He would be he would be there to support me. And I truly mean this. I'm not going to ever talk down on him. Okay? We both, him and I, came to peace and understanding before he left us. And when I say left us, I miss my kid's father. And my kids miss their dad. I'm so serious. If if we could have stayed married, I wouldn't have never wanted to be with no one else ever. And that's something how you didn't meet on no dating app, grocery store, church, park. We met in a club. One would probably say that's not a good place to meet nobody. I don't give a damn. Meeting them in church, I ain't knocking it. I ain't knocking what nobody's doing. Meeting them in the street, on these apps, I don't want to meet nobody on no social media app. I don't. People hide behind things. You see me, I got what you call fupa, whatever you call it. I got big arms, gray hair. This is me being natural and being myself, authentic. I don't want to hide behind nothing. I have done that before because I didn't have support and not from my kid's father. I'm talking about relationships past that. He's not here. I'm speaking good, and I'm not going to talk bad on that man. And you get with someone, you ain't got to really tell them that. But if you share or they see a snippet of it, it's almost like they don't really like you. Why are you with me? All my kids have the same father. Whatever folks people vote, but mine's do. And we was a family. We traveled. We was happy until we got to freaking Florida. That's why I say I left my happiness in Germany. Stuttgart, Germany. Like I said, I went to London. From London, I flew into Frankfurt. And from Frankfurt, him and his friend came pick me and his children up to take us to, uh, um, we was in Stuttgart. So we left from Frankfurt to go to Stuttgart because that's where he was stationed at. Echterdingen Air Force Base. Look it up. We stayed on Nelliken Barracks. My daughter was born at 5th General. That Constat Hospital is no longer there. I'm in the group on Facebook because I wanted to check to see. I done, what you call it, Google Map the barrack place, and it was secure. You can't come in unless you had ID. The guard there, guard at the other. And my kid's father probably worked, I want to say about 30 minutes away from us. But baby, let me tell you, when we got there, we didn't have no car. We made it work. We made it do. We caught buses. We got groceries. He had a duffel bag, and then we had this real big blue bag. And when I tell you, he was so strong. He put that duffel bag with groceries on his back, and then me and him both would carry the other bag. He have one, I have another, and I was pregnant with my third child. We didn't have a car. But we made it. until we got to Florida. That's when our life tore us apart. And I say this to say, not making no excuse up. That's why communication is key. When you have a problem, but you know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm not defending him because I'm not trying to make myself look like the good person or whatever. He was going through something. And honestly, I think he knew he was sick. And also, he's getting mentally taken down by someone else he was married to in the past. I didn't come between no marriages or nothing. I know this man. Okay. Matter of fact, I asked the question, how old are you? Show me your ID. Are you married? He was honest with it. I said, okay. I want to see some divorce papers. I don't want to be with nobody saying they married and I don't know for certain if they married and divorced. And he did that. He did that without even second guessing it. His divorce was over with way before I came into the man's life and he came into mine. Over with. I just wish it could have worked. He got mentally depressed, and now I think about it, that's the reason why he never wanted to live where he was from. He's from Daytona Beach. It wasn't because he didn't like his hometown. He didn't want to live around that person. That's the truth. How you gonna have a husband that you come up with the idea at a young age for him to join the military? Because straight out of school, high school, he worked for Coca-Cola for 10 years. He joined the army when he was 28. And I guess it was an agreement on both their parts. He goes to basic training. I had to think for a moment there. You in basic training, what, 6 weeks, I think, 8 weeks or something like that? Before you go to, you got to, because you get into it, you got to do the training thing. The first duty station that I can recall that he was at, because I wasn't with him, I think he said Fort Hood, Texas. And as I said prior, when you go, sometimes the wives can't go unless they just, people got money and you can stay in hotels or got family members in that state. Now that's true, because if you got housing stuff and beds and stuff, they take it to storage until you get to the next duty station. And that's one thing I like. They come in there and wrap up everything for you. You take pictures and see if things is damaged and all that. Uncle Sam don't play, okay? And you don't have to pack up things. When I said you don't have to pack up nothing, only thing you got to do is sit down and watch. They're taking your dishes out the cabinet, wrapping them up, putting them up, blah, 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 blah. And it's probably about 4 people doing this, okay? He got there, Fort Hood, Texas, that is, got situated. You know, a lot of times when you are in the Army or whatever type of military branch, you are, I guess they kind of say it's like locked down for 6 weeks or 8 weeks and can't go nowhere, because that's, you just getting there and they trying to get you all in the system and do all of this. You're not punished. He got there and made the phone call. And the reason why I know this is true, no, I ain't going by what he said. I done had so many people tell this. And one of them was her. Did I say that? I'm so serious. I got bombarded. He had a daughter, maybe a son, but I don't think it was the son, but that's besides the point. And I met her. She wanted to show me around and stuff. I don't think she really had intentions on showing me around. I think she was doing it to be nosy, for real. Because I don't care for her. I really don't. She ended up taking me over to her grandmother's house. Her grandmother was on the passenger side door. Her mom was in the back seat. She was in the driver's seat, and I was on the passenger side. And they had me like boxed in or blocked in. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? They could have hurted me, literally, for real. One could have strangled the hell out of me. One could have jabbed me or whatever. I'm just keeping it real. And they was asking nosy questions. Like one, I was pregnant, as I said. Why you keep having babies and don't keep having babies? All he wanted is to have you barefoot and pregnant. No, all it was jealousy. My kid's father, I can't even talk today. My kid's father loved us. And I know this to be truly a fact, without even a doubt. And I damn sure ain't bragging. Everybody that know, my sisters, my mom, my dad, loved him. Loved him. He was that man that asked for my hand in marriage. He was the man that asked, how would you feel if I was decide to take your daughter away from you, like, to marry or start a life with her? He did all of that. We didn't just start dating and my mom and them found out. I told my mama the first day I met him. Not my dad, because they went in the same house at the point, but he knew, like probably a week later or whatever, I don't know, but he knew. And as time went on, evidently he liked them because they got pictures that they took together. I said 3 strong men. My Uncle Carl, my daddy, and my kid's father. My kid's father sitting in between them. I love that picture. I just wish our marriage could have been saved. But see, he was the type of person. My kid's father wasn't a complainer. He didn't take all that medicine stuff. He loved food. And I remember something vividly, what he had told me when we was in Bradenton, Florida. He said he had stopped drinking because he used to drink. He said he felt like a knot in his side or liver or something. Maybe he was trying to tell me, but he didn't. And that's why I tell my kids, I really believe he was sick once he came back from Desert Storm, which is, he was in the Army and he was in the war. And a lot of people come back, what's that, PTSD, and me and my sisters, both our husbands was in the Army and they was both stationed in the same place, Fort Riley, Kansas. And so that's when me and my sister end up, I had family then. Me and her both were military wives. She's younger than me. She even been to Germany. I forget what part of Germany he was in. I forget. But anyhow, I think she went like maybe a couple of weeks or a month before me. She literally went. This is the truth. And at the time, she was a wife. But she was his, what you call it? Well, they had a child together. So almost like common law in a sense. But hell, he paid for it. The military didn't. Yes, he did. And so she got over there. She been to Florida. He's from Florida. Matter of fact, it's funny. And I didn't know this. Small world. When we got to Bradenton, Florida, Manatee County, my sister's husband is from Palmetto, Florida. Only thing separating it is the bridge. And a small one, not no long bridge. You got Sarasota, Bradenton, Palmetto, and then you got St. Pete and Tampa. You got to go over the Skyway Bridge. Man, let me tell you. But anyhow, we get there because my kid's childhood friend, told us about it because we didn't want to live in Daytona. He was living in Sarasota. No, he was living in Bradenton. Then he moved to Sarasota. And he knew that we had a little bit of money. And he was trying to, pretty much, I'm going to just say it like this, talk him in to starting a business by using his money because he was waiting on some. Are you serious? I was 26. I want to say 26. I was never dumbfounded, okay? I've been through stuff, but I wasn't dumbfounded. Everything that I know that happened to me in my life, if I didn't see it or witness it, God brought it to me. I didn't go looking for it. And I do mean this. Because I'm not gonna waste my time by trying to figure out if somebody care about me, love me, and cheating on me and all this, that, and the other. I don't want that. That's my life where I'm at now. I do not want nobody that don't want me. I want us to want each other. And I'm not gonna do no more for no one that don't do for me. Takers, leeches. They do probably something like dishes. I'm just saying, throwing that out as an example. And if you get into an argument, I don't like arguing, but I will. But see, that's what I don't like. I don't like nobody take me out of character. I'm a sweet person. And I remove myself from so many situations. Don't you know that? That's why I said God knows all, see all. I don't care. And I say that for myself. That's why I don't want to do nobody bad. But as I was saying, I ain't never chased or went after no one. And I said cheaters. That's what I'm talking about. Everything that happened to me was brought to me. No one I have to believe this. I wasn't spending my time, wasting my time trying to investigate, try to see, and all that. But I'm gonna tell you what I did do. One time, this happened to me. My second husband, no name. I knew he was doing it because it was proof that he did it. Because back then, you know how you have the phone, your account is together. See, that's why I said that. That's so stupid. And then you're gonna deny it. We both had the same account, which was Sprint. Okay. Then we ended up having, before we got Sprint, we had those phones where you no, I'm saying it wrong. We had Sprint, but it was too damn high. I'm gonna say that. And then we ended up getting those one phones where you buy the minutes and you have a receipt and you have to put the minutes on by calling that number or whatever. We had an account and someone had told me something and I didn't know this. I'm not gonna put the person's name on it and say who it was until, sometimes if you have an account with someone, the messages and all that stuff will come because it was a joint account. I didn't know this. This is in the beginning of the cell phone world for me. Like I said, the receipts and all that. We had those one phones look like they could be kids' cell phones. But anyhow, a message came. Let me show you how. Let me show you how. Let me show you how God works. My son was staying with me, living with me, and I had my baby, the little girl I told you about. She was my baby. She still is. She's 18 now, and I want to find her because I want to tell her the first part of her life, who she was with. I don't give a damn. She was adopted out, but I don't care. I want somebody to tell her the truth. I want them to make her feel like they had her in the beginning. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So, anywho, I had to take her to supervised visits to see her mom because her mom still had her rights at the time. Something just came over me and I felt sick. My son and his friend, because they knew him, because they had to do a background check on my son, because anybody of 18 years older and lived with me, they had to screen him too. They knew his name, and he had to show his ID and all that. He had to go pick her up for me. So I end up calling my second husband. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. What a dummy I was. Asked him, could he get me some things from the store and why? Y'all, I used to be so damn sick. I used to be so sick. And when I say, you see how I look now? I looked older than I do now back then. This is going to change. It's gray hair. I don't have to change it. I just want my hair to be washed, conditioned, and whatever I choose. I might keep it like this. I'm not hiding nothing. I just buy it from time to time because I like it. Not to keep myself young. Dyeing your hair does not keep you young. So anyhow, um, He had a message on his cell phone. Now, at this time, I didn't know if it was for me or him. So I listened. First time I hear something, I don't run with guns because I know sometimes people call you. I had somebody call me the other day and ask me, or not ask me, are you downstairs waiting on me? And I said, excuse me? He said, oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number. So that's why I say this. They say, how you doing? It was in the morning time. It had to been about 5, 6. I didn't think nothing of it. It happened again. I still didn't think nothing of it. But the last time when it happened, I think it was the third time. Here we go with these pet peeve names you give a person that you like or care for. She said something, and then she said his name. Hold up, swell up. What's going on here? Like I said, I didn't go looking for it. Came up. Okay. By this time, it's becoming to be some real serious disrespect. Okay, disrespect. I wanted to nip it in the bud. I called the woman and said, how you doing? Did not flip the script. And that's why I tell a lot of people why people go off on the woman and jealous of the woman because they man, or vice versa, the man go off on the other man because of their woman. I'm just saying, think about it. That's why I always say be mindful. If I'm married and I go out there and talk to a man, and regardless if he knew I was married, it's my fault. It's my fault. So I called her. Let me show you how bold he is. He called me when he got to work, like he always did, told me he got there safe because we live like maybe 40 minutes away from his job, but we always lived where there was highway entries and exits. And sometimes he'd get there beforehand because he'll leave early in the morning, don't be that much traffic. For anyhow, I he called me, told me he made it work, do. I was on the phone with her and I introduced myself to her. Her name was Kelly. My last name is Kelly. And he said to me one time when we was going to get the baby for visits, supervised visits, what if I tell you that I'm cheating on you? And her name is Kelly. I said, excuse me? I said, what? I'm keeping it real. He said, your name is Kelly, ain't it? So I knew he was a jokester, but in the back of my mind, who jokes about talking about cheating? You get what I'm saying? So it didn't sit well with me. So he got laid off on his job because some of the jobs he had, if it was cold out, because he worked outside, he got a good ass job thanks to me. Um, and he'll tell anybody that I got the job for him. And when I say that, I fill out the applications, and I always had rooted for both my husbands and said there's better things out there, that type of thing. So, anywho, he would go to temp jobs because he was not a lazy man. I ain't gonna lie on that man. He didn't want to sit down on his tush. He had to have money, and that was good. That was a really good trait of him. He also was an auto mechanic. He do that on the side, engineer work, all things, lawnmowers. So he always had money coming through the door, me and him both, because I was a certified nurse's assistant. Well, no one way, I worked two. As I said, I was talking to the woman on the phone. Don't you know? She said, guess who that was? That was him on the phone. He done hung up for me to call her. Straight truth. So at this time, I'm talking about recap, not going looking for nothing. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And I throw recaps out there from time to time because people probably say, what the hell is she talking about? Relationships, honesty, not looking for nothing, love. If somebody love you, they won't hurt you. That's what I'm talking about. So as time went on, he still was doing some stuff like picking little arguments to leave the house. And I would not argue back with him. I say, just leave. Or I say, maybe that was the argument to him. I ain't trying to argue. I remove myself from the situation, and I'm not trying to make myself look like a good person, because I'm going to tell you something. I had a house full of people, and if they had to go to court with me and not knowing that they was going to be called up on the witness stand, and me not being there, like, you know, them looking at me so I can like give them the eye, side eye, you better tell the truth. No, he didn't care who he was in front of. He did stuff in front of my mom. My mom would literally get mad at me and say, yes, she did one time. She said, why would you let him do your sister like that? And I'm like, my older sister even knows this. And so she had my back. And I used to be that one that didn't speak up on stuff. And I used to be real quiet and shy, timid, easy to cry, respectful, didn't mouth back or nothing. So I say this to say anything that happened to me in my life wasn't because I disrespected my mom or dad. And God knows this is true. I was going over to my mom's house. It was on a Sunday because my birthday, if I'm not mistaken, was that Monday. So she could put a perm in my hair. And where we stayed at was real close. I say 5 minutes because there's a light. If not, no light, probably get to her house in 3 minutes. I stopped off at this little quick store, 7-Elevens to be exact. And I called him because, he said, you're a woman, let me know, da, 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 which I didn't have no problem with that. So I'm not going to act like that was a big thing. And I told him, I said, I got to mama's house. I'm fine. I'm safe. At the end of the day, I am a woman. Didn't stay too far from my mom. Actually, my baby sister lived across the street. My other sister stayed a little ways up, but on close by. And then my other sister stayed like, I would say probably 5 to 6 minutes away. And then me, I stayed close. Got over there and told him I made it. Now, this is where the catch come in at. He had gotten off the phone with me, literally like hung up the phone and called her. My baby, I heard her voice, like I said, the phone situation back then. Pet peeve names like Snookums and didn't go to church and she's gone. And so by this time, I didn't have no respect for the lady because she knew I was married and she knew that was my husband. At first, I was like, okay, she didn't know nothing. But after that, I was like, who gonna disrespect me? Okay. So one time I recorded because he kept lying. Okay. I took the recorder and put it underneath the sofa. And right when I left out the door, I'm being honest, I pushed record. I didn't get the recorder from underneath the sofa until he went to work. I heard it. He didn't know this for a minute. When he had said some things to me, and I said that he was doing to me, and I told him what he was doing. I knew what he was doing. I had proof. He jetted out the door. Talking about that ain't my voice. Yes, it was. So as time went on, I'm saying this because that's where I started with my depression. I allowed myself to go in that dark space. Didn't care for myself. That's what you call it. Didn't love myself. It was a mental thing. And I say this, I'm not a materialistic person, but I always have had a pretty decent life. Far as like, I didn't need anything. I always had, and when because I was on no program or nothing like that, we paid regular rent. Um, we had money in the bank account, and uh, my life with my kid's father was military. So the most part of my younger years, I felt like that was a God sent thing because I was a young military wife and I was taken care of. But when you hear things and got proof and that person denies it, that right there in itself, I should have ran. I put up with that for about 5 years, honestly speaking. I had put up with some other stuff, but I'm talking about the big portion of it. So that's what made me sad. I started eating. I started having anxiety, panic attacks, and all that stuff because come to find out he was a mental person, meaning bipolar. Okay, didn't find this out too down later on down the road though. But I'm not judging nobody that has any mental issues, but it does kind of, open the flag or whatever of a person's behavior. There's no excuse for it, but you can kind of say, oh, that's why, that type of thing. As I keep saying, I'm 57. The time and years and the date that which I live in, I don't have time for crazy stuff like that. I don't give a damn about being single. Yes, I'm single. I'm a single widow. And I do not have or got either time for no bull crap in my life. I don't. I don't. Why? Like my mom always say, you can be dead and gone, and the problem's still gonna go on. Ooh, I spit some bars, or they could be, and I mean that. I don't have no time. Don't waste my time. Don't. Don't waste my time. I have a little bit of my life in control. And I say I have a little bit is because certain things, like I'm raising my granddaughter, that's what I'm saying, and that's not a burden. Certain things in your life change in a blink of an eye. Y'all, this conversation is trying to be very straightforward. And I'm sitting up here saying words wrong and everything, but I'm correcting it. Um, Blink of an eye, things happen. I get a little tongue tied sometimes, and also I don't forget nothing for real, for real. Mm-mm. And I ain't gonna let nobody put in my head that I need to. And I've had that. That's what you call they're narcissistic, not you. Mm-hmm. Because my thing is this again. This is what I'm learning. If I'm that bad of a person, and I'm doing you this way, which in fact I'm not. You doing them this way because you done caught them. You doing them this way because they was doing it so long and being sneaky, and now that you done caught them, they have a problem with you. You could have just easily left. I'm just saying, you could have easily left. I do not look at my face, white hair and all. I do not go chasing after nobody. If you want to leave out the doors, I'm not gonna pull your leg, cry, holler, scream, or nothing. And this is the truth. That's why I said I done been left alone, neglected by a husband so many damn times. No one in my family knew it. And I lived right by them. Like I had said earlier, that close. And then, a person probably say, you just got everybody on your side because you tell them your story. I ain't tell nobody nothing because I'm going to tell you the truth. My kids never experienced that with me and their father. And I said to myself, did I screw my son up or my kids up? Because what they see me go through, saw me go through with my second husband, I question that, and I really mean it. I'm not excluding no kind of behavior. I'm not. And I take accountability of my actions far as girl, why I was mentally messed up, y'all. And I'm not talking about in no cuckoo for cocoa puff way. I'm talking about drained mentally, emotionally. I didn't know what to do. I knew what to do. I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. Why the hell did you marry me? That type of thing. And I said to myself, I left him. I left him. I sure did. When I had enough, I predicted in 2009, 2010, I wasn't going to be with him. And it took me to have a real bad anxiety attack to where I ended up going to the hospital in the ambulance. And the guy, I said, you know what? How sometimes you wish you can um, tell somebody you saved their life type of thing. That guy told my son, he went out that ambulance when I was in the ambulance. He said, you're not going nowhere. He went straight up to the person. Maybe he just felt like he just needed to tell somebody. But it was my son. He ended up saying this too. He said, we're taking your mom to the hospital. She's not getting out in this ambulance. And when I got to the hospital, they did an EKG on me. For those of you who don't know, they checked my heart out, okay? I didn't have no heart attack. I had a real bad anxiety attack. I used to cry all the time, by myself. No one was no, and partly of it was they didn't know because I didn't tell them. My mom, like I said, she was staying close by and stuff. My mom had medical conditions and stuff like that. She was sick. I didn't want to add stress to her, but I'm saying my sisters are now. But as I say, why tell anybody if you're gonna keep being with it? I said it because that's what it is. It's nothing. Um, went to the hospital. They did the test on me. Come to find out I had an anxiety attack. And the social worker came in there. Here I go with the social worker. Remember earlier I said that woman? And she asked me, they did too at the hospital, was I safe to go home? Did I feel safe? And I said yes, because at that time, my kids were there and there was a house full of people because we had a barbecue going on. Yes. And so that's why I said I didn't have to tell nobody because a lot of it was seen. My son's girlfriend, two of them, one on rest of soul. Um, my daughters, three of them, their significant others, sisters, friends of theirs, everybody was there. It was a barbecue. And he acted up. He didn't care if I had a son. He didn't care if I had my mom and them there. That's a shame. And I meant this. I was like, whoa, that's some bold stuff. Typically, people don't go to other people's house, family, relative. But you know what? Anymore? Yes, they do. But people come up in there doing all kinds of stuff. But anyhow, so I went to the hospital. I got, mm, I'm almost finished. I went to the hospital. I don't know why this does this. It says retreat. I went to the hospital. That's why if I sound like I'm repeat myself because it keeps saying retreat. And they did the test. I was in the room. The social worker came in, and they came in there and said they was going to give me nitroglycerin. 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 Underneath my tongue. A lot of people know what that's for. Typically, they give it to people that don't have heart problems in some kind of way. But a lot of other medicines like that, such as that, can treat other things. And one of them is in anxiety. You think about it, anxiety is what causes stress on you. Okay. And the lady said, he came in the room. that second husband of mine, our second person. And she said, I guess he came in there to check on me. He left out of that room. Don't you know that lady said to me, she was an African American woman. She said, "Oh my goodness." She said, "I'm not supposed to say this." She said, "That's your problem." And I didn't even tell the woman nothing. I promise you I'm not lying. It was how he act. She ain't the only one that said it, but I'm not going to keep going back there. Someone else has said it. They saw it, and I'm like, what's going on? When they said what they said, I said, what's wrong? Who come in the door from work, and you got people in the house, and she come to pick up her child, which was my brother's daughter. I was babysitting, and my niece's two sons. And she said, "Whoa." I said, "What?" Because she was facing the door, and I was sitting on the side of her. So I guess she had that eye contact. She said, "Whoa." I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "What is wrong with him?" So when they came in that room, and they gave me the nitroglycerin, and they waited some time, and they came back in there and gave me another one. I said, "Is these people telling me the truth?" Because they gave me another one. And when they told me they was going to give me another one tear, one came down my eye, on my face, out of my eye. So real. And I said, like I said, in 2009, 2010 was going to be a new year, different year for me, and I was going to be with him. It took us to go to a wedding, and come to find out, May the 28th is my grandson's birthday. And I said I was going to look at the calendar, but I want to say it was on a Friday in 2010, that is. His sister was getting married, and she had asked us to send her information so we can reserve the spot, where it was going to be at. It was going to be at a motel, hotel, whatever you want to call it, nice one. And they had a casino, buffet, and things like that. I kept telling him to get in contact with his sister, and he didn't. But we ended up going, and we was lucky that we had gotten reservation or could get a room, because when we got there, everybody else had theirs. So we standing around, and I guess they was waiting on people to check out maybe. So we was able to get a room, but we wasn't able to go in there and eat because at the buffet and food and stuff, because it was all you can eat. Because he didn't make the reservations, the capacity, that is. They had a casino, a jacuzzi area, and everything. But luckily, they had a restaurant across the street. And he gave my daughter and her friend, I call her daughter too, because I took my daughter with me, my youngest one. At the time she was 17, and her friend. He gave them some money so they could go get something to eat. But if he gave me something, the sky is orange, green, purple, blue, and red. Okay, might be some parts of the world, and so okay. Later on that evening, I guess he felt like he wanted us to eat. Okay. I don't know why I didn't have no money, and I don't recall that why, but I had money. I don't know what happened with that. Anywho, he went to Subways, got him one of those cold cut, long, foot long ones, and he got me a child sandwich. When I say child sandwich, they have the child, they have the small, medium, large, and that's the one that you put in a meal for the children with a sandwich, chips, drink, and a toy maybe, or a cookie. I was still hungry. Oh, trust me, I spoke up. I said, I'm still hungry. And I didn't, and I'm not a rude person. I said, why would you bring me a small sandwich? Here we go. You speak up to a person that's narcissistic or an abuser, okay? They want to flip the script on you. That's another thing you have to watch out for. So they don't want you to be empowered. They don't want you to speak up. And I'm that person. Why did you just buy me or bring me a kid sandwich and you had a foot long? Oh, here we go. My daughter ate. He took his half and put it on the top of the TV. Of course, I'm going to eat the man's stuff because that was his. And he knew I was still hungry. Oh, here we go. Tell me why he took that sandwich and put it in the trash. My daughter saw all this. That's why I said he did this in front of my children, my sons, my daughters. He even called me the B word in front of my oldest daughter because when she was in high school, she graduated here. Like I had said previous, me and my kids' dad co-parent. But anywho, he called me the B word because I didn't want to argue with him. I had went and got some surround sound speakers. Tell me why he went and got some just like mine, and I wanted him to hook it up. It was our place. We had just bought brand new furniture. Our house was nice, always clean, had nice things. And just because he didn't want to hook mine up, he went, got some, hooked them up, and here I'm thinking of it now, picking fights to get out the house. So I said to him, I always did, because I was just so drained. I don't want to argue with you. I'm not trying to fight. Leave like that, right? Ooh. Me saying leave is like I'm telling the kid that you're going to get your butt spanked or something. Or it made it seem like I was controlling. No, I was removing myself from the situation. Ain't nobody got time to argue with you. I don't like arguing. I don't like arguing. I don't like nobody take me out of my character. My daughter said, "Mom, it's not worth wasting your time. Your blood pressure end up getting rised up and everything." This was my granddaughter too. My daughter, oh goodness, used to tell me. So when I said, "Could you please leave?" Please now, not to leave or go. He would pick stuff. He took and called me a bitch, took our furniture, strung it out in the hall of the apartment complex, took it outside and put it by the dumpster. Yes, he did. And the speakers he just ripped apart and the cords from the TV and stuff and took it by the dumpster. I called my mom and my mom's husband and they came over ASAP. My dad gave me a truck. He took all of my clothes. He had his clothes, my clothes mixed up with his clothes, and he put them in the back of the truck. And so the police end up coming. He forever calling the police. Don't you know when the police came, each time they came, they knew I didn't do that wrong. And I wasn't acting like I was innocent, like I don't do nothing. I didn't do anything to this person. He took the furniture out because here we go again. He wanted to go leave anyways. Okay. This is what I end up figuring out later on. He was horrible. I don't even know why I stayed with that. I don't. I said, what the hell was going on with me? And he damn sure wasn't, I'm comparing, better than my kid's father. That's another thing in itself. So he took the furniture and all that. My mom came and the police came. I don't know if they called the police, but anywho, I think he did. Because I probably thought we was going to do something to him. I don't know. And the police came and my mom was there. And I said, "Sir, he got my clothes in his clothes." They saw this. He had my clothes too. And my mom even vouched this because I have the title. That was oh man, that's another story, Van. That was the truck my dad gave me, not us, me. My name was on it, not his. I have license, insurance, and all that stuff. So when like we caught the bus, to Lincoln, Nebraska, left our car at the Wendy's off of Truman Road, caught the bus there. My dad was at the bus stop. We stayed at his house for a few minutes and we drove the darn truck back here. I think it was like, I want to say, let me see, probably 5 hours away or so. I have to look it up from where I am. No one knew. I'm not a bragger. I didn't say nothing to no one about my dad giving me a truck. And so the police officer said, "Sir, give her clothes and could you please leave?" I'm so serious. I couldn't put up with it no more. I put up with it as long as I could. And I didn't have to put up with that, but that man took me through some crazy stuff. He ain't never hit me though. He ain't never gave me no disease. And that's another thing, mental. I'm that person because I'm clean. I kept going to doctors and stuff like that to see if I had transmitted diseases and stuff because I didn't know what the hell he was doing. He kept leaving. And I never had anything. Thank you, Lord. Never. And I believe he was involved. Yes, I do. But even if he didn't, I was protecting me. My sister, here we go again. I got proof. My sister was in the other room and she was cracking up. Not because of what I said, how I said it, and she heard it. The walls were thin. And she felt bad that I had to say that. But towards the end, later on in life, we laughed about it because she said, "Girl, you was not playing." No, I wasn't. And the last time the straw that broke the camel's back is when I went and I laid on the table to get a pap smear to check to see if I had any yeast infections and all that stuff. We adults, right? And any diseases or anything. And I laid down on that table and I felt like they was violating me. But they wasn't. That's how I felt because how many times I was doing it. I'm so serious. I cried. And they comforted me. Of course, I think it was two women, maybe. If it wasn't, if it's a man, a woman got to be in there to assist. But anywho, now I think it's just women that can do it. I don't know because I don't have those issues, okay? And I don't have to put the thought in my mind. So I started crying. And deep down in my soul, I said, "Girl, you got to do something." And I did. When his sister got married, May the 28th, 2010, because I didn't finish, but I'm backtracking because I'm giving a little bit of insight of what I'm talking about. His family loved me. The first impression, the first time they met me, they loved me. And one of his brothers act like he liked me. And I addressed it to him. He act like he didn't care. His baby brother, okay? He had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. And he was the oldest. Boy, that is. When I tell you, things happen for reasons. Things happen for reason. Maybe it was meant for us to go to that wedding, for it to open up my eyes to see what love was. I don't know. Maybe they still together. They've been together forever. Everybody go through something, one point in time or another. It don't have to be cruel, mean, but you go through struggles. You can go through financial struggles. You can go through sicknesses. That's why they said, to death do us part, sickness and health. They need to bring that back into the vows, wedding vows. And so we went, came back, going. We had church's chicken. I already told you about what the food situation was me there. Coming back, it was late that evening. We was hungry. He wanted church chicken again. I don't care what you eat, but I didn't want no church's chicken. Taco Bell's was next door. And the only reason why I didn't get out to go to it is because you had to go all the way around because there was a wall to go to it. So it wasn't like I could climb over. Because if I could have, I don't care, I would have walked it. When we was at the drive-through window ordering, he yelled at me. What do you want? Do 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 do. Woo 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 woo. I was like there. When we got to the window to pay for it, the manager came to the window. There was someone else. He came and looked down. He said, "Ma'am, are you all right?" And I said, "I'm fine." Mm-hmm. When we got home, because see, as I keep saying, be mindful. When I got home on my turf, I wasn't mindful. I snapped. And when I say I snapped, I didn't hit nobody. I didn't break nothing. I threw my cappuccino, my dog, which his name was Honey, he licked it off the floor. My daughter was there. And he left. He wanted to leave. July the 4th. So that was 2 months left that I put up with this. July the 4th. And how I remember July the 4th. I couldn't remember. My daughter went over to her auntie's house, didn't stay too far. For the 4th of July, I was at the house by myself because all of a sudden he decided that someone invited him about 6 or 7 o'clock at night to a barbecue. As time went on, come to find out, did nobody invite him. A woman that he knew from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that's where he's from, she ended up being here. Like I said, everything came to me. It showed on Facebook. You my husband, and things show, comments, posts, all this. Pictures. You took a picture with her. But the ultimate last straw was when I saw that he had took and changed his marital status to single. My little girl, well, she was friends with us on Facebook and she saw it. And I saw it too. And I came out the room. I was always in my room. That's why I said I didn't want to have nothing to do with him. I would go shut myself up in the room. And I had a 55-inch TV, a refrigerator, and I would shut myself up in the room. And he'd come in there and pick with me. I opened up my door and I said these words to him. I wasn't afraid to speak now. Don't get twisted. But I was dumb. I'm calling myself dumb. I was. And that's why I said mental abuse, emotional, is a mother. Okay? I said, "Oh, you single." This is exactly what I said. This is in 2010. And it had to have been July. He always did stuff. I was pausing because I was thinking. He always did stuff to make me say stuff, even if it was "Oh, you single," so he can leave. Mm-hmm. The last straw that broke the camel's back was it wasn't that year, 2010. It was the year prior, beforehand. That's why I said 2010 is going to be different. 2009. Let me show you how he tried to pick with my kids. We had some furniture. We always had nice things. And we had a chair and a couch close by one another, but one was kind of turned or whatever. And the only person that was at the house was my daughter, him, and me. I was in my room. He was in the living room. He came back in and went back out to say, "Could you come and look at this furniture?" He took his cigarette, put a hole in the chair, because mind you, like I said, I was in the room, so it could have been somebody there, but it wasn't. And I'm saying to myself, no one's here but me, you, and my daughter. My daughter damn sure didn't smoke. I smoked, but I was in my room. He took that cigarette and put a hole in the wall. I mean, I said hole in the wall. I'm thinking about hole in the wall club. A hole in the furniture. And when I didn't agree with him or act like I wanted to say anything to my child about it, he wasn't nobody there. I'm so serious. What is it, a ghost? So he can leave. And if I want to say, I'm about to end this. I want to say, I'm gonna come back on with part two, because something came up.